Ladies and gentlemen, please ensure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright and locked positions. Place your head between your knees and kiss your ass goodbye. So from what I understand, that's normal, and that pilot is completely used to those ridiculous crosswinds. So I would like to shake their hand, give them a huge hug, and tell them thank you for keeping us all alive. Here we are at the hotel, checking in. I will be crashing early from that massive adrenaline rush. See you tomorrow, folks. Welcome to Tsukuba, folks. One of my favorite tracks. Small, great for races like this. Super fun. 5 laps. Let's see how we do. I got a bug behind me. The bug goes screaming up the inside, slams into that poor bugger in the yellow car, or the orange car there. Not very nice at all, are ya? Somebody souped the hell out of that bug, though. Oh, I missed him. That was close. Oh my god. Okay, so the bug is quick, but it's not that great in corners. Okay, orange guy, get away from me. Well, that cost me $1,000. Wasn't terribly impressed, but with a little luck, I might actually be able to get by this guy without hitting him again. Come on, baby. Nismo. Nice car, dude. How do you like my Impreza? Oh, apparently he doesn't. Goodbye. Come on, you. Come back here. He's got the speed, but I can corner better than he can, I think. So let's see if I can outbrake him into this corner here. Or at least out-accelerate him out of the corner. How's that sound? Come on, baby. I know you're 4-wheel drive, too. See ya. Nope, not see ya. Oh, I got tagged by a Massius in a bug. Well, that's 2,000, and I've still got that bug behind me who can't brake very well or turn very well, so having him behind me is not exactly giving me a warm and fuzzy feeling of happy, joy, safety. You know what I mean? Okay. Now, I leave those guys to do battle. I mean, here comes that bug. It's quick. Jesus. Is it ever? But he doesn't corner very well. Thank goodness. Damn, he's quick though. Uh-oh. Okay, the only chance I got is to outbrake this guy and out-turn this guy every single time. He's quick. It's a seriously fast car, dude. I don't know what do you got in that thing, but it's a 66 Rocket. So as we're heading into this technical section, you can see the bug behind me is having a little bit of problems with the corners now. I don't know if his tires are wearing out or if he's falling asleep or what, but he's still right behind me. He's still got lots of speed, but he carries a bit too much here, and I guess overestimated his ability to make that corner because he didn't. And that was that. Okay. All right, they're all fighting back there. That gives me a nice breath of fresh air, which I will happily take. So, moving forward to the final lap, because nothing else happened between then and now. Excellent. Okay. Welcome to Asia, folks. Well, that's an excellent start to the Asian campaign, I have to say. First of 3, and bags the win with a couple or $3,000 to take off because of other people banging into me, including the lovely person in the Volkswagen Bug who, it seems, ended up dead last. Karma. Hey folks, did you know that there is a British pub in downtown Tsukuba? Neither did I. Turns out there's one right across the street from my hotel. I love my travel agent. Anyway, I figured I'd come over, grab a bite to eat, and check out the tally of our finances. Let's see how we're doing. All right, we arrived here with 46,800 and got a nice even 50K for the win. 2,000 in damages, but no upgrades, which is a bonus. $10,000 just to get me here and into the hotel, which leaves us with a lovely 84,800 going into race 5. Well, that's not too bad. That puts me on track to make it to the championship, provided I continue to not crash into anyone or anything. Might be able to get a few upgrades. We'll see how we're doing. See you in Suzuka, folks. All right, folks, we're on the Shintomai Expressway on-ramp from Tsukuba to Suzuka. About 6 hours, 45 minutes to get there. Should put me into Suzuka around 4 a.m. No big deal. The race isn't until the day after tomorrow, so I have the entire day to relax and recover. Should be all good. See you in Suzuka. Okay, so it turns out that the Shintomai Expressway is closed through Tokyo, so they've diverted me onto the Chuo Expressway. I hope I'm saying these things correctly. Either way, it's adding 2 more hours to the drive, so instead of getting to Suzuka at 4 a.m., I'm now going to be arriving at 6 a.m. It's going to be a long night, folks. See you there. Good morning. It's very early and also very late. It's a little after 6, and I'm in Suzuka to find out that the race got moved up to today. It's in an hour. Oh, at least there's adrenaline. See you on track, folks. So our next race is a 700 pp race, and I'm only sitting at 578. So I thought, I'm going to put a little extra money into my car. Not much. We're calling this the frugal upgrades, if you will. Now we'll start off with a racing muffler, a little extra power, and a racing air filter for a little extra power. It also looks cool. And then I realized, you know what? I could take another couple 100 pounds off my car, and that would always help. Then I went shopping for a turbo, and I remembered that horsepower sells cars, but torque wins races. So the medium was definitely the best bet. And then finally we put some brakes on this thing so I can slow down properly, under control. What a concept. Alright, on track at Suzuka, race of turbo sports cars. Let's see how we do. So of course my primary goal is to win, my secondary goal is to not hit anyone or anything, and my tertiary goal, number 3, is to not fall asleep. Especially on the long runs down to turn 1 like that and get a little squirrely through the corner, and it keeps things exciting. A little shot of adrenaline to wake me up a little more, it's always a good thing. This guy is just following the racing line like some kind of a racing driver or something and just will not get out of my way, so I thought, I'm just going to snuck onto you. Right here during the S's. You don't normally pass people during the S's, but for whatever reason they were really slow. And the S's have usually been one of my stronger points on the track. I love Suzuka. It's such an absolutely fantastic track. So here I'm making up a few places. Lap 1. These guys are just like, I don't quite know how to drive this. So I thought, okay, I'll take advantage of that and see ya. Into Degner 1. No problem. I'm not killing myself here, but I'm really trying to keep the speed up. Keep the eyes open. In towards the hairpin, and this is where things got really exciting. Somehow, I stayed on track and didn't hit anything, and no one hit me. I was very thankful. The universe was looking out for me, I guess. Now the run down to Spoon, and again, these guys, you know, they're on the racing line. That's the way you normally drive, but I never know quite what they're going to do, so I'm trying to be extra careful. I'm kind of boxed in here now. Managed to get around the outside, and I'm like, no, you're going to come across and hit me, so I'm not going to do that. So I do it again here, and he gets boxed in behind this dude, and I'm like, nope, bye. I'm out of here. And still, safely down the road, no contact. Excellent start. Coming up on the bus stop, and I'm not planning on making any moves through here. There really isn't room to pass through the bus stop. You can make the move going into it, but I was far too far back. But this guy gives me space, so I stuck my car there. All right, you move left, I'll move right. I'll take 9th, thank you very much. Had a good run out of there, so up into 8th, thank you very much. Lap 2. Coming through the S's with Mr. Cockabun in front of me. And I'm just trying to keep it nice and clean. Still got one eye open at this point, so I'm doing okay. And he brakes right there. I'm not entirely sure why he decided to stick his foot on the brake, but I more than happily took advantage of that and schnoop through Degner 1 and Degner 2 and up into 7th. And the quick run down to the hairpin. I'm really hoping to have a little bit better luck. It was better, but it was still a mess. But at least this time I managed to get around the corner without completely spinning out. And I'm now catching up with Mr. Murdoch. Same kind of thing. He's going to go left. I'm going to sneak by, cut under him on this point here, try to be ahead before I get to the actual curves, which I am. You can see Serrano in front of me is doing all right, but he had a bit of a moment right there, and, well, I took advantage of that. See you later. Okay, so I don't know if they all were just trying to take it easy on me because they knew I didn't have any sleep, but they were not as competitive as I was expecting. Maybe it's the turbo. Maybe I'm just amazing. Maybe I drive better when I've had no sleep. It's the adrenaline, folks. And again, 4th and 3rd. Just a better run out of the corner, and that was that. Up into 3rd. Moving forward to the hairpin. And I've now caught up with Fraga and Izumi. Now, I gotta watch out for Fraga. He has a bad reputation of getting a little bit elbows out, shall we say. Okay, he tags you and causes you to spin. Let's be nice and clear. So I'm making sure I keep as far away from this guy as I possibly can. I'm on the grass at that point to make sure he doesn't hit me, because I figured he's probably just going to give me a little nudge. He's like, oops, sorry, sent you into the gravel there, buddy. Have a nice day. But I managed to get by him. And at that point, the windshield wiper started flapping, and I got a double dose of adrenaline, because here comes the rain. Oh, fun. Into 130R. Nice and clean, no problem. And I got one person left to pass. And he's very quick. But again, doesn't corner as well as I do. So I'm kind of hopeful I can take him through the S's, Degners, somewhere where he's required to be able to turn a corner quickly. Get a little crazy going into turn 1. Managed to keep it on the track, but it was another good shot of adrenaline to keep me going. Through the S's. And he's braking and slowing down and all kinds of weird stuff, but I don't want to hit him, so I'm being super careful, just kind of biding my time. And I'm thinking, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're braking and just I'm almost tempted to just back off at this point, because this guy just is all over the place. Here comes the rain again. Okay, you go that way. I managed to get him offline a little bit, so I was able to snoop under him right there. Snoop? That's a new word, folks. We snooped under him. All the way past and into Degner 1, which I missed, and managed to keep it on the track. Degner 2, a little bit less ugly. And I'm up into first place on lap 4. Into the hairpin. This is the first time of the race I've managed to get through it without going completely squarely. And we're going to have a magical change of weather. And suddenly I'm in the final lap. Clear blue skies. Go figure. Suzuka's crazy for his weather. In through Spoon. All I'm trying to do at this point is keep my eyes open. I got one eye is pretty much closed, and the other one's kind of going, yeah, I'm right behind you, buddy. And all I'm thinking is there are 4 corners. There are 4 corners. 4 left. You can count down on less than one hand. Just keep going. Down to 130R. Don't fall asleep. Stay awake. Stay awake. I'm kind of yelling at myself in my helmet at this point. Stay awake. Stay awake. Okay, 130R. 3 corners left to go. The bus stop and the last turn. That's it. Brake. Don't miss the braking point. Okay, got it. No, I'm good. So far, so good. Turn right. Yeah, close enough. Turn left. Yeah, close enough. Last corner. Keep it going, man. You're almost there. You're almost there. You got this. And it was about here where my one eye went. I'm never home. That's it. I'm done. Well, folks, a lovely sleep, and I woke up to this on my lap. From the Chief Steward's office at Suzuka. Following the race of turbo sports cars event today, you fell into what can only be described as a light coma, and the marshals were completely unable to wake you. Fair enough. As a result, we were forced to have your car and you towed from the track at a cost of 10,000 credits. That's an expensive tow truck. In order to get your vehicle and you out of the impound lot, you are required to compensate Suzuka International for the full amount, plus an additional 1,000 credits for having to listen to you snore. Best regards, Kuki Yuki. Ouch. That was an expensive nap. Alright, now that I got me and my car out of the impound yard, let's have a look at our finances. Coming into this race with 84,800 and I won for 70 grand. Nice. The tow bill at the end cost me 11,000, no damage. Upgrades 31,700, and of course the cost to get me to the next race, 10,000 credits, leaves me with 102,100. Alright, now that I got my car and me out of the impound yard, I started to wonder if there's actually enough money available to be won to get me to the championship race. So let's have a look. So sitting with 102,100, provided I win all these races, this is what I'll end up with. Mount Panorama is 165,000, Dragon Trail 85,000, Red Bull Ring is 115,000, the Nordschleife is 125,000, which gives me a total of 592,100. Don't forget we still have to pay all the fees to get to these races, which is 50,000, and then we have to buy the car and get into the spa race, which is 500,000. That leaves us with 42,100. Well, that's not too bad. 42,100 is a nice little buffer between now and then. Provided nothing else goes horrifically wrong and I don't crash my car, I should be okay. We're off to Australia. Did I mention I'm afraid of flying? Well, folks, here we are in Australia, and I'm going to go get some aero parts put on my car, because as good as my car is, this is Mount Panorama, and, well, you could call it the Australian Monaco with more concrete than New York, so I want to make sure my car is firmly stuck to the ground. You know what I mean? Let's go check out what we can get. Now, in this case, my car came with the Type B, so that's awesome. For wing, I'm guessing the holes were already drilled for that because it's not costing me anything. Sweet. But diffuser for a little extra downforce, I think I'm gonna have to do that. And then I went down to the local stationery supply store and picked up one of those little stencil kits that you can buy and put a lovely little license plate together that I can use on my car during the races. Obviously not on the road, you know, but how cool is that? So one of the biggest issues I'm having is braking under control. The front end has a bad habit of doing the funky chicken on me, and I'm going into Bathurst, which is lots of concrete walls. You know what I'm saying? What does that do? Ah. Seven laps around Mount Panorama, and this is a 10x fuel 9x tires race, so set the old fuel gauge down to 5, and I'm hoping the tires can last, but I know I'm going to have to pit once, and so I'm thinking I'll probably change tires as well. It's going to depend on where I'm at, how far behind I am. It takes 4 seconds to change the tires, so if you don't have to, it saves you 4 seconds. But this is Mount Panorama, and it eats tires. So into the technical section up the side of the mountain, and I'm doing my very best not to hit anybody or anything, as you can imagine. But I'm also pushing because I got a long way to go to catch these guys. And I'm in mix 5, which means I kind of got to give it everything I got to make sure that I'm at max possible speed for the amount of fuel that I'm using. Up toward the summit, sitting P18, 22 seconds off the lead, but slowly gaining. Well, I hit the wall. Cost me $1,000. Ouch. Onto the grass. Well, I got a 4x4. It's good. These guys all, for whatever reason, they really slowed down into that one corner, and I just slooped around them almost every single time. It was beautiful. Being super careful. There's a cluster in front of me. A full fuster of clucks. So I'm just thinking, if I can get a good run out of here, get the speed down this long straight, dude like moves over. If I was planning on going into the middle of the track, I would have gotten nailed, so I'm glad I didn't. Ripping down here. Mix 5, you don't really get a lot of speed, but it's enough. Through the chase. Braking at about the 200 board. And so far so good. Guys go a little bit squarely, and dude ends up kind of not really giving me room. So again, I just like, well, okay, I'm just going to use all 4 of these driving tires and get myself by you by jumping on the grass. I had 2 wheels on the track. And this guy, I missed him. Not by much, but I missed him. At this point, I'm thinking, oh, I hope you brake before me. And he doesn't. So I'm like, okay, being super careful. You got the pair of yellows in front of me here. All right, I'll get in behind this Mustang. He seems to be the faster. The other one decides, oh, I'm going to go over to the side and try to block you. No, you're not. Gonna get up into... I actually wasn't sure if that was my fault when he went sideways and hit the wall there, but it turns out he did that all by himself. It was all his bad. Coming down the other side of the mountain, and I'm catching up with Koke in a huge way, and just like, okay, bye. I'll take your P9, thanks. I'm loving the 4x4 on this mountain. It's awesome. Now I'm up behind Kawakami for P8. Thinking maybe I can catch him down the long straight, but I'm in mix 5. So hey, I know. Give me a little extra gas here, guys. Up to 2 to get my speed up faster. Being very careful not to leave it there. But I'm pitting after lap 3. And according to this, I've got lots of fuel. So I'm thinking if I just leave it there, I might actually be okay. Into the chicane. Nice and clean. No NSX to run me wide. And then down to the final corner. I had to go around or I was going to hit him. I mean, you're not supposed to drive on the grass, but I had 2 wheels on the track. And as we go into the upper section here, I got nice and squirrely. I cost myself another 1,000. Dang it. And worse, another 1,000. Double dang it. I can't even use the excuse if I was falling asleep, because I actually got a good night's sleep before this. Mix 1, because I'm thinking, I've got lots of fuel. I'm pitting at the end of this lap. I should be fine. And I'm using that to my advantage to get up as many places as I can, past the vantage, and down the hill. Alright, up into P4, going through the chase. 3 people in front of me, and I'm pitting this lap. I probably could have done it a little bit differently and gone 4 laps, but I'm going to do 3 for now. Into the pits. Change the tires. Figure I'm making up enough time I can afford the extra 4 seconds. Fill it, and we're out of here. With a great flourish of the flagman in the front there. Now, put the gas back down to 5, and as we're coming over the mountain here, it gets a little bit nuts. I go to the right to get past this guy. The next dude in front moves right a little bit, so I avoided him and hit the wall, and then the guy in front of me braked ridiculously much and totally suddenly, and I slammed him. So just coming down that last little bit there cost me another 2,000. This is getting to be an expensive race. Down through the hairpin and bump the wall. Another 1,000. You can tell I'm pushing. I'm really pushing. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to catch these guys, and I kind of have to win this race. So there we are on the grass again. Not the best way to do the chicane, but at least I managed to keep it mostly on the black stuff. So you see these guys are all peeling off into the pits. And so me on the final corner from P8, P7, got a whole bunch of people pitting. Get onto P6 by the time I come out of there. Back up to the top of the mountain. Catching up with Mr. Blazon, and I pass him no problem. And then we got the Genesis in front of me. He goes left. I almost hit him there. I didn't, thankfully, but did manage to get past. A little weird through there, but that's it. Up into P4. Now it's just the podium places. And remember that at least 2 of those guys have not pit. Moving forward to the end of lap 5, beginning of lap 6, and the only one still in front of me is McEwen in the Corvette. I'm thinking I got a pretty good chance. I've got 2 laps to pass this guy. Granted, you see I'm in mix 6, so I'm really having to push hard, but I'm thinking he's also down in his mix because he's not really keeping ahead of me, and I'm actually gaining. All right, he goes slow, I go around, into the lead. Boom. Now all I gotta do is keep it clean. Maybe not cost myself a whole lot of money between now and the end of the race. Sounds good, right? Fast forward to the end of the lap, and the computer tells me, you better pit and refuel. I'm like, yeah, I passed the pit line about an hour ago, man. Up into the technical section, and you can tell I'm really pushing because, oh boy, I missed the wall there. I didn't miss the wall there. Another 1,000. I've lost count, actually, of the number of penalties I've had on this particular track. As I come around the final corner, I have exactly 0.1 and then 0 across the finish line out of gas. Perfect. So I ended up winning by 9.1 seconds, which is pretty darn good. I like to think that my strategy played a pretty good role, and I kept an eye on the gas to make sure that I was using as high a mix as I could throughout the race, and it paid off. So now, let's have a look at the finances. So we arrived here with 102,100, and that win earned me 165,000. Nice. 7,000 in damages. Not so nice. 7,700 in upgrades. And it was definitely worth doing, I'll say that. And of course, the 10,000 to get me into the race leaves me with 242,400. Almost halfway to the 500,000. So we started with a buffer of 42,100. I lost 7,000 in damages, paid 7,700 in upgrades, and that leaves me with 27,400 to play with, or lose, if I hit things. I'd much rather play with it. Yeah. So I checked out of the hotel this morning, and they informed me that the airport is closed. And so I inquired, of course, how am I supposed to get to Europe for my next race? And they said, don't worry, the organizers have taken care of everything. You just got to head down to the docks. Now, I was a little bit nervous when they told me that, but I figured I'd come and... Oh, hey now, that's not so bad. That big old thing would be a real nice way to get to Europe. I'm okay with that. Heck yeah. Oh, dear.